blastmusic247.com. We're changing the industry, one artist at a time.
Hey folks, Michael Botte from the Michael Botte Band, coming to you from Blast Music 247's Blaster Rock and Metal Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for sharing time with me this evening. Your host, Michael Botte on Blast Music 247. We have a fantastic show for you tonight. This is the band that I've been following for quite some time. Finally, I got the lead singer on the show tonight. Wait till you hear their music. Phenomenal. So, without further delay, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show Shimmer Johnson from Circle the Wolves.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, my friend, we did it.
We did, finally. We've been chatting and texting and talking for the last year or so.
Yeah, this is one of those situations, folks. For those of you who don't know, I discovered this band quite some time ago, and Shimmer and I just exchanged messages over the years, and then finally, when I got doing this gig, I thought, aha, I've got to get her on the show, and obviously I did.
You did? I'm ready.
Yeah, right on. So let me take a minute and sort of lay out the land, how we do things here, not only for you, but for the listeners. So what we like to do is we like to initially take a little jump in that Wayback Machine and talk about the genesis of the band, where you've been, what you've seen, where you're from, that kind of great stuff. Then we come back here to the present, talk about what you're working on now, and then the really fun part is we put that sucker into fifth gear onto the future so you can let your fans know what to expect next. And then, of course, at the 15-minute mark, 30-minute mark, roughly 45 mark, we are going to play one of your songs because as much as we love talking about music, we want to listen to some.
Yeah, for sure.
How does that sound?
That sounds great.
Perfect. Awesome. All right, Shimmer, let's together jump in that Wayback Machine and talk to me about the genesis of the band, what you've seen, where you've been, the name of the band, all that great stuff. The floor is yours.
All right. Well, honestly, the band never started out as Circle the Wolves originally. We had a different guitarist to start, and we were called the Benedetta at the time. If you look up the Benedetta on Spotify, you can actually hear some of the older material. We used to, our guitarist was Barry Benedetta. He used to be the guitarist for Cinderella back in the 80s. And I met him through LinkedIn, and he ended up flying to Canada, and we wrote these, probably 40, 50, 60 songs in the 3 months while he was there.
Goodness.
Like, we wrote as much as we could while he was in Canada. He lived with me for 3 months while we recorded. And,
they're Philadelphia-based. You know that, right? They're Philadelphia-based, right? They're Philadelphia-based. They're from Philadelphia, where I'm from.
Yeah. So, he stayed with me for 3 months, and we wrote tons. We released the album Shadows. And then we have a whole poppy rock album. It was too light and fluffy to be the Benedettas. So I released Never Be the Same as my pop stuff, because I actually do that as well. But that's how the band originally started. It was me, Corey, Keith, and Barry. But when COVID-19 hit, basically the band was kind of, half of the band was in the U.S., half was here. And Barry is older. He's in his early 60s, I think. And he ended up getting the COVID-19 virus and passed away in January. So when he passed away, we were like, well, I don't want to give up this music. This music's great. I still have a couple albums of the Benedetta that I'll eventually release from Barry, even though he's not here no more. But we ended up finding a new guitarist, Steven Johnson. And we're not related, even though I'm Shimmer Johnson.
Yeah.
Not related. Found another Johnson,
Okay.
Steve. Yeah, and we started just playing around. And Steve's background is very jazzy. He went to Grant McEwen here, and he learned lots of jazz and that type of guitar. So when we brought him in, we got his jazzy backs, jazzy, weird, crazy playing mixed with rock, and then Corey and him would sit there and bash out all these cool chords, and then after they would put a song kind of together, then I would go in there and write to it. So all the lyrics and all of the melodies and everything, that's all me. I kind of go in my own headspace when I write. I don't bring the rest of the band with me. I wait till they write something and then I write to it. And we released our first album, what was it, 2 years ago? And it was just Circle the Wolves. We decided on Circle the Wolves. I don't even know where we got that from. I think I was sitting in the bathtub with my husband, and I'm like, what can we name the band? And then I don't know why I went Circle of Wolves, and I looked that up. I'm like, oh, somebody already has that. And then I'm like, what about Circle the Wolves? That's kind of cool. It's different, and nobody else has that. And so, yeah, I was totally naked in the bathtub, and that's how we came up with it. Yeah. That's how I
That's
came
a
up
cool
with
band
the
story.
name.
I don't have that story for my band name.
No.
I don't have that story. That's unique.
Yeah. And so basically we just started writing for the last probably year and a half, 2 years. And we have 9 albums worth of music. We've only released 3. So we released one. Yeah, we released our first album a couple years ago, and then last year we released 2,000 Pieces.
Yep.
With my hit song "State of Mind," which you guys will hear in a little bit.
Yes.
And then our new album "Mirror Mirror" just came out on February 28th of this year. So we still have 6 more albums that no one's heard that are ready to go, and we will release them over time. But we have lots and lots of music that we've written.
Oh my goodness. I mean, you and I have chatted a little bit, and what's funny is whenever I remember I was sharing one of my songs that I released last year called Mirror, and then you had sent me your album, Mirror, Mirror. And so mine's only one song called Mirror. Yours is Mirror, Mirror, which is a collection of, 12, 13, however many songs. Obviously,
9 songs on that one.
Okay, your mirrors are way bigger than my mirrors, obviously. But I remember you talking about that when it was going to come out. So as I'm listening to your music, I did notice that the albums were only a couple years old, but I thought to myself, there's no way this is the first music you guys have made either individually or collectively somewhere else. There's no way. There is a level of musicianship to this, as you're alluding to with a jazz guitar player. Your arrangements are very, very different. Such a unique sound. I will say the way you layer the harmonies and the vocals, I have to say that is an entirely separate instrument. I mean, for the love of God, there aren't many people who do that many layers and harmonies like you're doing.
Oh yeah, I do all my own backups, all my own backup vocals. So you'll hear the lead, and then you'll hear all the backing, all the really high. I have a 5-octave range, so I sing everything, really low, really high. And so I prefer, and it's really hard to find a backing vocal that can do what I hear in my head. So it's just easier for me to record it.
Yeah,
that's a lot. When we play live, we play to click tracks. That way, I have all my backing vocals, and then obviously the lead vocal will be live, and the guitars and the bass and the drums will all be live at the shows, but all of the synth stuff and all the backing vocals. That way, when you're actually at a live show, it feels like the CD, like you're actually hearing the CD when we're going live. So.
Yeah, I'm happy you're doing that, honestly, because I think it would be just a tragedy for people to not hear what that full sounds like, what the album, the record, the studio version sounds like. There's so many layers to it. Oh my goodness! Well, we're going to hear, of course, some of those later, but let's take a step even further back in the Wayback Machine to Alberta, Canada. Is that where you're born and raised?
That is where I was born. I lived here. I was born right here in Edmonton, actually. And at 15, I decided to move in with my father that lives in Branson, Missouri, and I finished my high school out there in Branson. So I worked at Country Mart and I sang with the Osmonds, second generation kids. I was good friends with David Osmond, and well, not David.
Oh
I
my,
was friends with Scott. I graduated with David. I didn't know him, but I knew Scott really well.
oh my
And
goodness.
yeah, so I used to do choir in Missouri, and yeah, we did state competitions, and yeah, I sang with, like I said, Scott a lot, and a couple other
Wow.
people in my little quartets. So I learned
Oh
lots
my,
of my harmonies and stuff when I was in the States on how to do all the crazy harmonies.
yeah. Oh my goodness. So you graduated high school in the States. Okay. So
Yeah.
let's pretend we're going back to Branson, Missouri. What year did you graduate high school?
Oh God, I don't remember. 90s, late 90s.
Late 90s. Okay.
I can't
So,
remember. 97,
all right,
98. I can't remember.
sure. Let's pretend it's 1998. You're back in Missouri. You're graduating. You're with all your best friends. What are you listening to in that car in 1998?
I honestly, when I was a kid and up until I was about 16, it was all pop stuff. So lots and lots and lots of like Celine Dion and Mariah Carey and Whitney
Yeah.
Houston. I liked
Oh
all the
yeah.
divas, so I trained my voice on that since I was a little
Yes.
kid, diva stuff. And then Alanis Morissette came out when I was graduating high school, and I started listening to her, and she was a little heavier, and it was a lot fun. And then I found Kate Bush, and I found Tori Amos, and then I started really enjoying the rock side of things.
Mhm.
And it was more of like a poppy rock, which I really liked.
Yeah.
And yeah, basically I started listening to that, and I hosted karaoke while I was out there, and I used to sing with country bands and whatever while I was out there because it was country, right? So country,
Of course.
pop, rock. I kind of jumped around, and then at 18, I moved back to Edmonton, and I got into a rock band. We did lots of Heart and old school, No Doubt, and yeah, it was
Yeah.
fun. And then I even got myself into an R&B girl group, Genie, back when I was 18, and
Oh
we
my
would do
goodness.
like Destiny's Child and all of the poppy
Yes.
stuff. Because, like I said, I trained myself doing pop music all my life, right? So did that for a while, and then at 21, I met my husband slash my co-writer, songwriting partner, and basically husband for the last 20 years. And we started writing pop stuff. So our first song we ever wrote was Waiting. I've never released that. Eventually I will. It's a pop song.
Hmm.
Yeah, we wrote that, and we ended up figuring out that we wrote really cool stuff. So my husband really likes Corey, which is he's part of Circle the Wolves. Really likes rock music. That's his forte.
Mhm.
So with the rock stuff, we started writing a rock album just for myself. This is before the band even existed, and I wrote an entire album of very Evanescence-y type
Yep.
songs before Evanescence was even released. And so I had this whole album ready to go, and I was all excited, and we were gonna figure out how to release it and get it to the labels. And then, like 2 months after I finished my album, Evanescence went on the radio, and I'm like, I was so devastated.
Amy. Amy.
It was the exact same music. I could actually, I'll send you some after the pod.
It's
You'll be like,
similar.
oh my
Yeah.
God. Yeah, I literally wrote the Evanescence album.
Oh my goodness. Well, I mean, wow. So in a very short period of
And
time,
I
you
love
were,
Amy.
yeah, of course, who doesn't? I mean, you love that voice. In a short period of time, you were exposed to a lot of different genres and styles, and so how did you jump
Yeah,
from like the pop and the country and I know rock, but right now I wouldn't even consider you guys are definitely more in that gothish
metal.
metal kind of. How did you
Yeah.
make that leap to that realm?
No, with Circle the Wolves, we wanted to go a little bit heavier. Um, Later on, I started listening to like Tool and all of the
Yeah,
harder rock stuff, right?
yeah,
And while I was writing, I'm like, I want a Tool break so I can do some weird vocal things. So we would come up with weird Toolish sound breaks for the bridges
yeah,
or for the rhythm guitar or whatever, and then we just started adding a lot of the orchestral stuff
yeah.
that you find in the metal stuff that have the really pretty voice on top with the really really heavy guitar and lots of strings. And yeah, we started doing that, and it turned into Circle the Wolves, with
Ah,
Steve's really jazzy guitar, with Corey's harder rock guitar mixed with strings, mixed with my crazy vocals, you know. So
yeah,
yeah,
no, okay, I could buy that. Certainly, I mean, Tool, they had those very, very strange time signatures as well, which I'm not smart enough to understand a lot of that, but I know
me
just very
neither. That's
strange.
that's totally Steve and Corey. They
Okay.
are, yeah, that's all of their Grant McEwen training. They're like, let's do
Oh,
a three,
okay.
four. I don't know. I don't speak that language. I just let them do their thing and then I write to it.
Yeah, right on. No, understood, understood. Well, this has been so amazing to learn like how you jumped into that realm that you're in now. And guess what? I love talking about music, but we're going to listen to one of your songs right now. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Chandelier by Circle the Wolves.
And this is a cover of Sia. We decided to do a crazy rock song. So enjoy it.
Awesome.
It's Sia made metal.
Right on.
Body down, don't get hurt, can't do anything when what I learn. Push it down, push it down. I'm the one for a good time, cold phone blowing up, ringing my doorbell. I feel the love, feel the love. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, drink. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, drink. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, drink. Throw 'em back till I lose count. I'm gonna swing from the chandelier, from the chandelier. Gonna live like tomorrow doesn't exist, like it doesn't exist. Gonna fly like a bird through the night till my tears as they dry. Gonna swing from the chandelier, from the chandelier. I'm holding on for dear life, won't look down, won't open my eyes. Keep my glass full until morning light, 'cause I'm just holding on for dear life. Help me, I'm holding on for dear life. Won't look down, won't open my eyes. Keep my glass full until morning light, 'cause I'm just holding on for tonight, on for tonight. My shine is up, I'm a mess. Gotta get out now, gotta run from this. Here comes the shame, here comes the shame. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, drink. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, drink. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, drink. Throw 'em back till I lose count. I'm gonna swing from the chandelier, from the chandelier. Gonna live like tomorrow doesn't exist, like it doesn't exist. Gonna fly like a bird through the night, feel my tears as they dry. Gonna swing from the chandelier, from the chandelier. Holding on for dear life, won't look down, won't open my eyes. Keep my glass full until morning light, 'cause I'm just holding on for tonight. Help me, I'm holding on for dear life. Won't look down, won't open my eyes. Keep my glass full until morning light, 'cause I'm just holding on for tonight, on for tonight, on for tonight. Yes, I'm just holding on for tonight. Oh, I'm just holding on for tonight, on for tonight, on for tonight. Yes, I'm just holding on for tonight. Yes, I'm just holding on for tonight. Oh, I'm just holding on for tonight, on for tonight, on for tonight, on for tonight.
Absolutely freaking fantastic, man. Right on, rock on. Tell me about that video. Tell me about that song.
I am a huge fan of Sia. One day I want to write a song with her. either for my pop stuff or something. But I love Sia, so when we sat down, I was like, why don't we do some covers of some songs? So we decided to do Chandelier. I was like, let's make that really, really, really heavy. And I had looked online, and there was some other rock bands that had did it too. So I wanted it to be totally different. So I took it in a different vocal range. I kept it pretty similar to Sia for the verses, but I really changed the whole chorus and how it was sang, and all full voice, and it was a lot of fun. I love trying to reimagine different types of songs. So that was just one of our reimagined tunes that we came up with. And yeah, I just love it.
Right on. Now, how the video? Who made the video? Was that all you that made that?
That was all me. Yeah, so I recorded it with a green screen in my bedroom. I did. And
I have one
then
behind me right now.
yep, recorded it with the green screen about 3 or 4 times through, so I had lots of different takes to choose from. And then I built the rest of it with stock video,
Yeah.
to be honest with you. And I use Envato. They're really awesome. And yeah, and I built it with that, and I got creative while I was editing and came up with that.
Yeah, no, it's so well done. I use Pexels. I use a lot of different video sites to do different things, but that's really
Yeah.
well layered in the way that the flow and the transitions. I mean, you definitely put some work into that. As someone who tries
Oh,
to
yeah.
make little videos, you put some work into that one.
Yeah, it took me about 3-4 hours to
Yeah.
put it together and melt it together and make sure all the vocals lined up with the you know, with the green screen stuff that I had shot. So,
Of course.
slow it down a little bit, and then you speed one up, and then you try to, just to make it cool.
Yeah, no, I get it. I absolutely love that. So let me ask you this. You mentioned earlier that you have, unlike many people, a 5-octave range with the Whitneys of the world and, of course, the Mariahs. Did you have
Oh
any kind
yeah,
of vocal training, or are you just gifted that way?
I'm I guess gifted. I've never had any vocal training other than when I was 12. I got myself a job just so I could get a paycheck so I could pay for 2 vocal lessons. And I worked for the Wentworth Stewart Association selling, what was it, gift wrap for Christmas or something? I don't know. I was 12. And yeah, I got my $200 paycheck, and I used that for vocal lessons. And that's when I learned how the diaphragm works, because I had never been trained for it. I'd always just been singing since I was like 2-3 years old, just with the family. And so learned how the diaphragm worked, and because I was really destined to be able to sing for 33 seconds long for the the Mariah Carey song Without You, when she holds that note for 33 seconds. And I wanted to know how to do that. And so I worked my butt off, and I got my job, got myself some vocal lessons, and I was able to do 27 seconds back then. I couldn't do that now. No. But back then I did. And I did it for a contest, and I ended up winning that. Singing Without You, Mariah Carey. And but yeah, I worked really hard. I was 12 when I won that contest, so but yeah.
Oh my goodness. So you're one of those people that you just got it. Sometimes you got it, sometimes you don't. You got it.
But I only ever took 2 classes, and literally it was just for breathing techniques, and that was it. And then just lots of practicing on my own and performing at parks when I was like 12 to 16. I'd bring my little karaoke system and sing for people randomly around the city.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I've tried to learn some tricks with the diaphragm. I don't have to do what you do, but I understand that concept a little bit. No, I get you. So let me ask you this. You also said that you've written, I think you said 9 albums worth of material. You've released a few, but there's quite a few left. So
and that doesn't even include the Benedetta stuff.
Yeah. So tell me, what's your writing I know you had written some, you have a lot of co-writers, but what is your process? My writing process is a wreck. What is your writing process?
Honestly, my process, I have to be alone when I'm writing a lyric and a melody. So I need the bones of the song. So usually Corey and Steve will go in there and lay down the bones of the song. So, just a rough guitar, a rough bass with all the parts situated, and then Corey will go in there and play Keith's drums because Keith is usually not at the studio when we're recording. He comes in last. He's the last to record. Is our drummer. So Corey comes in and lays the bass, drums over their guitar stuff, and then they're like, "Okay, studio's all yours." And I go into the studio and I play it 3 or 4 or 5 times and hum out different melody lines that might work, and I record them so I don't forget them. I'm really bad. If I don't record something, I will forget.
I understand that.
Yeah, I will forget what I just sang. So I don't know, my old age, I'll just forget it. But I'll record melody lines and whatever, and then once I find a melody line that I really like, that I'm kind of tied to and I think fits the best, then I'll start writing a lyric. And sometimes I will start on a verse first, and sometimes I start on chorus first. It just really depends on, because when you start singing, sometimes a word will just come out while you're humming something, and then I'll just literally take that word and turn it into a song. Yeah, the one word that slipped out of my mouth, and
from your subconscious,
yeah, from my I don't know where I pull it out of. It's like a little floating line in the air, and you're just like, I need to pull it out. Yeah, and then I will lay down most of these songs I don't really go back and re-record. I usually, the first time take is usually what I keep. So I'll go in there and write what I want, and then I'll sing it until it's perfect the way I want. Usually it's 2 or 3 takes. I can do it really quick. Sometimes, for instance, on my 2000 Pieces album, 2000 Pieces, literally, I wrote the lyrics first before the melody line. I had it all kind of based out, and I brought my lyrics in. I'm like, I'm going to make these lyrics fit into this. I didn't know why I wanted to do that, but I was like, I never tried that before, so I wrote a poem with all these lyrics, about 2000 Pieces. And I went in there and I sang the song with my lyrics all the way through and created the melody off the top of my head while I had the lyrics in front of me, and I ended up keeping that one take. And I was like, I like it. So I just built harmonies around it, and that song is how it came, the 2000 Pieces. But most of the time, I will sit there and work out. It takes me about 2 to 2.5 hours to write the melody, write the lyric, and then build the harmonies. And then I'll give it back to Corey. And then once they have my vocals all laid out and all of that stuff, then he will go in there and add the synth stuff, and he'll start adding and building the song.
Okay. Because
he likes to hear what I do before he puts other stuff in, because it'll change the way I write the melody. Yeah. So he waits till it's a bare bone guitar track with a little bit of drums and a little bit of bass. I write it, and then basically he will add the orchestral stuff after, and all the cool, weird, solos. And solos are usually last. Steve will go in there and do the solos with Corey. And then last but not least, about 2 weeks later, after we got all that done, Keith will come in and record everything that we recorded that week. So that's kind of how Circle the Wolves works. We all do our own parts separately.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, understood. So you keep mentioning the studio. Is this a home studio, or do you have a studio that you use, near where you live?
It's my full studio. I originally had it in a commercial area, but with 2019 COVID and everything, it just was stupid to have it in the space and paying the extra rent. So we, instead of that, we decided to just rent a bigger house that had more space. And then we built this house is huge, and it had 2 garages. So we built one whole section is just our recording studio. And so my studio is at my house, and it's nice. I can wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and go write whenever I feel like it, and it's great. I don't have to drive anywhere, and it's it's a studio we built over the last 10 years. So it's as good as if you went to LA and went into one of those pro studios. Like, my studio is worth at least $100,000 I've put into it with gear and Genelex speakers and all that. So we have everything. I have a production company too, so LED walls and all that we do for the big festivals and stuff. So when we
Oh,
built the studio, to be a full studio where we could do writing, mixing, and mastering, and have the right speakers for the mastering. And yeah, so everything is done in our studio.
now who does all the mixing, mastering? Do you have an engineer, or is that all you guys as well?
That's all us do. Corey does all of the engineering.
Okay.
Corey does all the mixing and mastering of the songs. I do all the vocal engineering because they don't touch my stuff. So anything I write, yeah, they know better than touch my stuff.
Well, right on.
But so yeah, I do all my own vocal editing
Okay.
And stuff like that. And he basically adds all the effects and stuff that you hear on the final product. That's all Corey and his production part of it.
Okay.
yeah.
No, understood. Well, that sounds amazing, and I can't wait to hear more of the production, because guess what? We're going to listen to another one of your songs, so we'll get to hear all of that. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome "Unwanted" by Circle the Wolves.
And this is an Avril Lavigne cover.
Right.
I did was walk over and start all off, shaking in your hand, howling away. I had a smile on my face and I sat up straight. Ooh, yeah, I wanted to know you, I wanted to show you. You don't know me, don't ignore me, you don't want me there, you just shut me out. You don't know me, don't ignore me, if you had your way, you just shut me out. Make me go away. I just don't understand why you won't talk to me. It hurts. I'm so unwanted, but nothing to talk words against me. I wanted to know you, I wanted to show you. You don't know me, don't ignore me, you don't want me there, you just shut me out. You don't know me, don't ignore me, if you had your way, you just shut me out. Make me go away. Make me go away. Tried to be long, didn't seem wrong. My it's been so long, write this song as what it takes. You don't know me, don't ignore me, you don't want me there, you just shut me out. You don't know me, don't ignore me, if you went away, you just shut me out. Make me go away.
Oh, absolutely. Hell yes. So creative. I will tell you this, I'm terrified of cover songs because I'm not smart enough to know like how to be true to me and then true to the artist. I'm not smart enough to know that. So tell me, why that song? What is that all about?
I've been a huge Avril fan since she came out when she was 16,
Skater
and
boy.
I literally have gone to every single concert that she does here in Edmonton and it was awesome to kind of watch her grow from like her first show was she was kind of pitchy and young and vocally she wasn't fully there yet, and then the second concert she got better, and then the third she got better, and by the fourth she was playing piano and singing. I just love Avril. I loved watching her growth. And when I first listened to Unwanted on her first album, I heard it heavier. I'd always heard it heavier. I was like, this is so fluffy. It would be so cooler, because the producer tried to make it heavy for her album, but she was a punk pop princess, right? So they were trying to keep it less fluffy. So, when we were sitting down, I go to Corey, I'm like, we should redo that Avril song from her first album 20 years ago, Unwanted. I'm like, nobody really knows that song, and I can totally change up. Like, I totally changed up the second verse. I made it super powerful. It's totally different than Avril's original, because she sang it more pop, right? And yeah, it was just a lot of fun. And then after we recorded it, and then I built the video exactly how I did Chandelier. After we did that, I looked up Cliff Magnus, the guitarist, and he showed up in my friends list on Facebook, because I know a lot of the Billboard writers out of LA. And he showed up as friends you should know. And I'm like, I wonder if that's the same Cliff that wrote Unwanted. I'm like, I'm going to take a chance. So I messaged him. I didn't really look it up. I just messaged him, and I'm like, I don't know if you're the one that wrote Unwanted, but I did a cover of it. Here you go. And then he ended up messaging me back, and he's like, yeah, that's totally me, and I totally love your cover. And he shared it with all his friends. Yeah, and it was really cool. And so now I've done actually a couple of Cliff songs we recorded. I haven't released them yet, but did a couple of Cliff songs after that, and hopefully write some more with him. But yeah, that's how I ended up meeting Avril's guitarist, is I did a cover of her song, and then I messaged him.
Oh my good, that's how it happens, right? That's how it happens. So,
Yeah.
so when was that? I mean, obviously, Skater Boy was the thing that put her on the map.
Yeah,
I mean,
that was from that album.
Okay, the Punk Princess. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it was from that album. So
now, what year? What year was that? Was that late 80s?
Oh my God, 90s? I don't know. No, that
I
would
don't
be
even
early
remember.
2000. Early 2000.
Okay. Yeah, I don't remember
like
my
2000,
timing exactly.
2001.
Okay.
Yeah,
no, right on.
Because she's 30 something now, 38. Yeah, so
Is she Canadian?
Early 2000s. Yeah, she's Canadian.
Oh, right on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Right on.
She's from Ontario area, way over there.
Okay.
I'm on the opposite side. I'm in Edmonton, Alberta. So.
Right on. So tell me about what's the local music scene like? If you're going to go out, you're not writing, you're not playing, you want to go be a fan of music. Like, where do you go? Who do you listen to locally?
Every Friday and Saturday nights, I go to a place called Chromosome. It's actually the best sounding live venue here in Edmonton, and it's new. It's only been open up for about a year, and they have some great bands. Chrome is one of the bands, and that's their place. So they play there a lot at their own place. And Mike is just awesome. So if you ever want to hear an awesome cover band, Mike from Chrome is just amazing. So they play there. And then they do different themes every week, which is cool. Sometimes they'll have like a country weekend, and it'll be 2 country bands back to back, or they'll have Circle the Wolves once in a while, and it'll be 2 metal, gothic, rock bands. So it'll be us and Night Haven. If you like our style of stuff, then Night Haven, you guys should check out as well. They're awesome. But yeah, I go to Chromosome usually. If I don't go there, I'm usually going to singer-songwriter nights, so I can go up and sing our originals. And there's not crazy amounts of places to perform here in Edmonton. That's why I end up doing a lot of touring in the U.S. or in different places in Canada. Edmonton, there's not a lot, so there's the casinos you can play at, but most of the casinos they usually have cover bands and they're tribute bands, right? So you can go support tributes and that sort of thing. at the
Yeah.
casinos. And
Yep.
yeah, but Chrome is all original stuff or cover bands once in a while.
Oh, right
And they'll
on.
do 90s nights, 80s nights. It's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh, right on.
So if you're in
So you could,
Edmonton, that's where you go.
so you not only can play there, but you could be a fan. It's amazing. So is it such a different
Yeah.
experience for you, either being, obviously on stage, it's a different mentality, but being in the audience, do you listen to music? Like as someone, like I write music, right? So I sometimes,
Yeah.
unfortunately, when I watch people play or listen to music, I listen to it as a writer and not as a fan sometimes. Do you do that at
Yeah,
all?
I do. Yeah, unfortunately, because we are singer-songwriters and yeah, when I listen to the radio, I'm like listening to the production and
Yeah.
the vocal mistakes and oh, I can't believe they released that. That's flat. And yeah, because that's just how I am. So yeah, when I go out and I'm listening to other bands, yeah, I tend to be like Simon Cowell. I'm awful, but I like listening. But
I'm like,
I love
I wonder
listening
why
to
that
new
plays.
music, and
Yeah.
I support the ones that I really, really enjoy that put an effort in their performance and their
Yeah.
show. So,
Okay.
yeah,
So look, you
that's
got
how
some
I work.
experience, right? You've been around the block a time or two. You know a lot of
Yeah.
people. You've been around. You've been playing. You've been writing. I mean, what do you love about the music business right now? And then can I ask you what don't you love about the music business right now? Because you've seen a lot. You've seen a lot.
Yeah, no, I love I love the music industry. Right now it's really nice. You can release your stuff independently and get it out there. And back in the day that was super hard to do unless you had
Yep.
a label backing you. And so to release something like 20, 30 years ago was super hard, right? You had to luck out and meet somebody from a label. Nowadays you can release your stuff and get it out there, and you can be independent. And if you have some money backing you, even if it's your own money, you can get your stuff out there. But it's a lot harder. You gotta be the singer, the songwriter, the producer.
Yeah.
You have to do all your socials, and it's a full time job. Do all your socials. Get
Mhm.
on podcasts like this,
Yeah.
and promote your songs and get it out there, because nobody knows who you are unless you do this, right? You can release song after song after song after song, and if you're not doing any type of promotion, nobody's going to hear you. It doesn't matter who you are.
Yeah.
If you're Alanis Morissette and nobody ever heard of you, and you're just releasing stuff, even though she's phenomenal, if she didn't have that label backing her, she might not have ever been heard, right? It really depends, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and
No, I understand. What do you
what I
hate? Yeah.
hate,
What do you not love?
what I hate about the thing is it's really hard to kind of get your music out there to the right people, because nowadays there's so many songs that are released every day that you get lost in the shuffle. So it's really hard to you have to have a pretty special song and a lot of promo backing you in order to be able to get your stuff out there for the most part.
Yeah, no, I understand that. Matter of fact, we have a friend, D Ray. His name's D Ray from Soul Resurrection Music. He's a friend of the show, is part of Blast Music, and he always tells me about how, unfortunately, it's like he even said one time, it's like 10% music, 90% promotion and marketing, and just because, like you said, there's thousands and thousands of songs that get uploaded. Last time I read 50,000, 60,000 songs a day get
Yeah.
uploaded. Like it's hard to differentiate yourself. So yeah, that's the unfortunate part. I wish you could just make music, have it heard, and then go on to the next one, but it doesn't work that
Yeah.
way,
And
unfortunately.
and it's really hard to get yourself onto radio stations like the terrestrial radio stations
Yep.
or Sirius XM. You kind of have to have a label backing you almost. I'm really grateful for Now Radio here in Edmonton, 102.3. They tend to play a lot of indie music, which is awesome. So they'll do a takeover, and if you request your own song, you're like, "Can you please play my song? I know whatever." And they have played it. They've played my pop song "Liar," and they played my pop song "Vices." They did "State of Mind" once for Circle the Walls. So super supportive. So if you can find those radio stations that are supportive of independent, then you have to build a relationship with those people, and that will help get your music out to at least the people that are listening to that station, right? So, yeah.
Yeah, I know it's tough, the promotion side, and especially if you're putting out like as much music as you're putting out. Oh my goodness! I mean, the promotion. You're always going to be either writing, playing, or promoting at some point. So you're always going to
Yeah.
be doing something.
I'm so sorry. I'm in a rock bar, and they just decided to turn on the music crazy. So, if you guys hear music in the background,
Yeah.
I decided to do this podcast from a bar. So,
Yeah, but guess what? We don't care about their music because we want to listen to your music, because that's what we're going to do right now. Once
State
again,
of Mind.
ladies and gentlemen.
this
Yes.
is an original tune. This is mine, and it's one of my favorite songs. It's a pop metal version, commercial metal, I call it. So, this is State of Mind.
Yes. Let's play it. Yes.
Am I supposed to hate you? Am I supposed to find all the reasons I could shame you for telling me all of those
Hey,
Well, if we have learned one thing from watching and listening to your music, is there's certainly a theatrical quality to your music. So tell me about that song and that video.
State of Mind. It's one of my faves from so my 2000 Pieces album. I wanted more of a commercial metal, so it's heavy but it's poppy at the same time. And State of Mind was as close as I could get to like an Evanescence or a Hailstorm kind of vibe,
Yeah.
um, where it could be played on the radio and everybody could jam to it, and it's not too heavy but it's not soft either. So it was just one of those songs that has a really hooky melody line and something people can sing along to, and yeah, I just loved it. It's one of my faves.
Yeah, I think that might be one of the first songs that I heard, I think.
Yeah,
I remember
I
correctly.
promoted that one a lot.
Yeah, I think that might have been. Yeah, no, phenomenal. I love the theatrical qualities of your music. Absolutely. So here's the deal. We are getting close to the end of our show, and what I typically do is my producer will say, start to land the plane. But before we land the plane, can you please tell your fans what can they expect next from the band?
Well, we just released the album Mirror Mirror on February 28th, so definitely go listen to that on any streaming platform that you are most comfortable using. We have, like I said, 9 albums, so we got 6 more to go. We're probably going to release another one either near the end of the year or at the beginning of 2026. Right now, we're trying to get labels interested before we release all of them. There's just so many, so we're trying to get a smaller label, possibly under a major. We would love to sign with a major. That's the goal for us anyway. I love being independent because I can do whatever I want, but at the same time I want to work with a major just because it gets the music out there just a little bit more.
No, understood. No, understood. Well, certainly the quality of your music is ready for any major label. At least I believe so. So you've cut your chops independently. Maybe it's time to make that change. If your music gets out more, faster, bigger, better with a label, I think absolutely. That'd be fantastic.
Yeah, but
Fantastic.
I mean, I'm happy being independent, and we plan on doing more touring here in Canada. There'll be more shows here in Edmonton as well as the surrounding areas in Alberta. We're thinking of doing a BC Alberta tour. We're not quite sure the dates yet, but that's kind of what we're working on right now. So, but for
Okay,
now, we have
fantastic. So,
Mirror, 2000 Pieces, and original Circle the Wolves album. So you're welcome to listen to that. Lots of great music. And thank you, Michael, for having me on the show and bringing me here. And it's awesome that I got to actually finally meet you.
yes, this is awesome. So you have albums and tours, all these things coming up for your fans to expect. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for hanging with me, Michael Botte, and Shimmer Johnson from Circle the Wolves right here on Blast Music 247.
Bye, guys.